How do you detach yourself from the emotional addiction to being with a toxic person? Now, I want you to consider this piece of a trauma bond for just a moment, and I want you to consider just like a visual illustration. Imagine that the narcissist, imagine I'm the narcissist and you're the victim on the other side, okay? Survivor, because I want you to grow and develop, but like imagine you're on the other side, okay? And imagine I have this rope, and this rope comes from this hand, goes up in a loop and down to this hand, and I take both of these and I put it over you, and I'm pulling you back. Like I'm pulling you towards me. This is the illustration of this emotional addiction that's happening between you and a toxic person. It's happening over and over and over. It's drawing you in. It's pulling you back to this person. And you're like, I have to be with this person. And you start having this like addiction piece. So the question is, how do you actually detach from this person? You've invested time, energy, money, like you've invested a lot of different things into this person. You love this person. You care about him. You're like, how do I get my heart back? You might have already developed a soul tie with this person. You might already have these like strings to this other person that have you all connected. Until they're actually severed, you're going to have this pull, like mental, emotional pull to this person. You're going to have these ropes that have been put around you. A lot of times I'll illustrate the ropes that have been put around you from the toxic narcissist is the idea that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy, that no one will love you, that you're not confident, that you don't have self-esteem, that you're not good enough. Like all these stories that are going to get put around you, and there's millions of them. And so especially if you've been with a narcissist for 2 months, for 20 years, you've had these stories that have been placed upon you, that have been developed, that have wrapped you, engulfed you in these ropes, pulling you back to the toxic person over and over and over again. And it's left you feeling like you're not good enough. It's left you believing them. Okay? So the thing is, how do you actually emotionally detach from a toxic person? We have to start dealing with those. And you're like, but you just said there was millions of them. Yeah. Like, that's the path forward. And we haven't seen another path where someone just like snaps out of it and they're magically better. Like you have to actually do the work. The thing is, a lot of people don't want to do the work required to be free, to actually heal. A lot of people are like, I'd rather do something else than actually heal. We call these buffaloes and cows. Buffaloes run into the storm, minimizing the time that they're in the storm. Cows run away from the storm keeps chasing them, extending the pain. You're going to do the same thing. You'll either run into it and you'll be like, hey, I'm going to do what's required, do the work required to actually grow and develop myself. Or you're going to be like, this is too hard, I'm going to go do something else. And then you're going to wonder years down the road why you're not healed. And so you need to understand this is going to happen to you over and over and over again unless it actually changes. Like, unless you actually work through this process, it's going to continue to happen. And you're going to continue to feel addicted. You're going to continue to feel an emotional pull to this person over and over until we actually break it. How do we actually break it? First thing we need to do is we need to look at the facts. What are the actual facts of the situation? Because the facts start to play a different light. Like the facts have been, oh, he actually didn't care about me. He didn't love me. He didn't demonstrate this. He didn't show this. And we start looking at the evidence. Think of it like you're submitting evidence to a court, and the evidence there is saying, hey, he didn't care about me because he was texting another woman the entire relationship. He actually didn't love me because, one, he's not with me, and then two, he also cheated on me. He didn't actually show respect to me because he was lying to me the entire time. And all these things are confronting different stories, different beliefs that you have. They're like, oh, he actually did care about me. We did have good times. He wasn't a bad guy. He just made mistakes. All of them are confronting different stories. The hard part is if you're unwilling to confront those. Then you're the cow running the opposite direction. The hard thing is when you're unwilling to confront the facts and actually look at it. Oftentimes people don't want to look at the facts because the facts hurt, because the facts are real and raw. The facts don't have any wiggle room for you to feel better or worse about yourself. They just are. And most time people want to ignore the facts. And so we have to get you clear of we have to build your life on facts, not on fiction, not on fantasy, not on feelings, but on facts. Then from there, we can start working through how you're actually feeling about it. But we have to establish the facts first. Too many times people go through life and they establish their facts by their feelings. I'm saying, hey, we can talk about your feelings by your facts. You have to actually look at the facts first. Otherwise, you will believe a lie. You will be sold into slavery with a toxic person and be trauma bonded to him with having all these lies and these limiting beliefs wrapped around you, pulling you back to the toxic person. So if you want to emotionally break free, you need to show up and actually do the work. What does that look like? First off, dealing with the facts. Then getting clear on your feelings about that. What is the story you're telling yourself? Thinking through, hey, this is how I feel in the moment. This is what I've been telling myself. Well, he does love me. He's just having going through a hard time. Is that factual? Does it actually match up? No, it's my feelings. Okay, then we need to actually work through this. Because if we don't sit here and even like write them down and even struggle back and forth of like, what is actually real? What is not real? What do I need to focus on? What do I need to do? And then make a decision, you will stay stuck. You need to understand it comes down to understanding the facts, dealing with the feelings of what's actually going on, going back and forth, trying to figure out what story do I actually believe, and then you make a decision. Sometimes that decision is choosing your hard. Is it going to be hard to stay with him? Yeah. Is it going to be hard to leave him? Yeah. Which one? Make a choice. And you're like, well, that seems aggressive. I know, because I need some people on here that are watching this video right now to make a decision instead of elongating the time that you're with a toxic person because of the lies that you believe, because of the stories you've been telling yourself. Like, you are going down a path that leads to your death. Like, you are going down a path where he's going to continue to abuse you over and over. You're going down a path where he's going to continue to put your head through the wall, where he's going to drown you in the bathtub. You're on a path where you are going to ruin your life if you don't actually make a decision. But you have to be willing to face the facts. If you're not willing to face the facts, then many times you will stay lost. If you want my help in embracing and seeing the facts of your life and being liberated from the toxic relationship, then go to rawmotivations.com now.